With that in mind, Jens, I think it'd be good to move on to you and ask you a little bit more about what you do, because you come from quite a different background, and with a lot more of a scientific or mathematical approach with this test that you've created. Can you tell us a bit more, please?
So I did my master's thesis at the psychology program on lawyers in Sweden, national study, and it was specifically on burnout, and this was 17 years ago. And interestingly enough, I don't think a lot of people are aware of that the term burnout actually comes from lawyers. So the big pioneer within the burnout research, Christina Mastak, who actually empirically validated it. She had friends who were lawyers talking about burnout, and she was really interested in that particular phenomena. So she validated, so I'm building upon her research. So all I'm doing really is mirroring what Helen has been describing, which is really interesting. So you have a working situation with a lot of demands, a lot of sources of stress, and then you have highly ambitious people. And it is that particular combination that is giving rise to such high levels of burnout. If you have people that are laid back and chill and say, I don't care, I'm just going to go home, it's 5 o'clock, you're not going to get burnt out. It is that overcommitment together with those high demands. And people that have that drive, that super drive, basically we're talking about insecure overachiever in general, they seek careers that are validating them in various ways. And certainly lawyering is doing that financially and in terms of status, and also engaging work and supporting clients. So there is a psychological grammar that is attracting people with these particular traits. And so as I try to, in various ways, address the problem in law firms, I noticed that traditional stress management wasn't really working at all. And that it only really sort of opened up once I took into account that highly ambitious orientation towards work and how it is hooking up with the demands in the workplace. And once you hold up a mirror, which is what we're doing with the psychometric testing, people recognize themselves because this is what they're doing, not just at work, but also during evenings and weekends and so on. Burnout is often a combination of high demands off work and on work together. And those demands are not just sort of randomly ending up in your lap. You are consciously and unconsciously cultivating in various ways. But once they recognize that, they often sort of stop in their tracks, and then they will start to consider that. So holding up that mirror is one way of doing it. And then the type of coaching that Helen is providing is another way, because you will be able to unearth it in the sessions with a lawyer. And I certainly recommend a lawyer or a coach with a lawyering background. I think that's really a success factor for sure.